Hi, let's take a very important sum of this chapter based on concept of word problem, and this sum we are going to solve using formula. A survey was conducted to know the hobby of 220 students of class 9th, out of which 130 students informed about their hobby as rock climbing, 180 students informed about their hobby as sky watching, and 110 students informed about their hobby as both rock climbing and sky watching. We need to find value of three questions: how many students do not have any of the two hobbies, how many students follow the hobby of rock climbing only, and how many students follow the hobby of sky watching only. So first of all, let's convert this question from statement into a mathematical form. So it says that total there are 220 students of class 9, that is nothing but a universal set denoted by U. So we write, let U be the set of total number of students. Now total number of students is given as 220, so we write in mathematical form as n of U is equals to 220. Further it says that 130 students informed about their hobby as rock climbing. So for rock climbing, we are going to assign a initial letter, that is R. So we write a statement, let R be the set of students whose hobby is rock climbing, and since there are 130 students, we write in mathematical form as n of R is equals to 130. Further it says that 180 students informed about their hobby as sky watching. So again for sky watching, we are going to assign a letter. Let's say the letter is initial letter, which is S. So we write a statement, let S be the set of students whose hobby is sky watching, and since there are 180 students, we write n of S is equals to 180. Right now, further it says that there are 110 students who follow both the hobbies. Now whenever we come across with word like both and, it is nothing but intersection. That means n of R intersection S is given as 110. So we know the value of n of U, n of R, n of S, and n of R intersection S. Now we need to find, first question is how many students do not have any of the two hobbies. Now before we find how many students who do not have any of the two hobbies, we will first find how many students who follow any one of the hobbies, and then we will just subtract it from the total count, that is 220. Now when we say how many students who follow either rock climbing or sky watching, when we say or, it is nothing but union. So we'll use the formula of n of R union S is equal to n of R plus n of S minus n of R intersection S. It is same formula, n of A union B is equal to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. Just we have replaced A with R and B with S. So let's substitute the values. In place of n of R, we'll substitute its value, which is 130, plus n of S, we will substitute 180, minus n of R intersection S will substitute 110. Now 130 plus 180, when we add we get 310, minus 110, and when we subtract 310 with 110, we get answer as 200. So the number of students who follow any one of the two hobbies is 200, and we need to find number of students who do not follow any of the two hobbies. It is very easy. We have to just subtract 220 and 200, that is n of U minus n of R union S, which is 220 minus 200, and that 220 minus 200 gives us 20. So the number of students who do not follow any of the two hobbies is 20. So that completes our first question. It further says that we need to find how many students follow the hobby of rock climbing only. So what do we observe here? That number of students who follow the hobby of rock climbing is 130, but out of 130, there are 110 students who follow the hobby of sky watching also. That means if we want to find number of students who follow the hobby of only rock climbing, we have to just subtract 130 with 110, that is n of R minus n of R intersection S, which is 130 minus 110, and that gives us 20. So total there are 130 students who follow the hobby of rock climbing, but out of 130, 110 students also follow the hobby of sky watching. So we have to just remove that 110 from 130 and we get answer as 20. That is number of students who follow the hobby of only rock climbing. Now third question, we need to find the number of students who follow the hobby of only sky watching. So again we have to do same thing. Number of students who follow the hobby of sky watching is 180, but out of 180, 110 are those who follow the hobby of sky watching also. That means from this 180 we have to remove this 110, that is n of s minus n of r intersection s, that is 180 minus 110, which gives us 70. So total there are 180 students who follow the hobby of sky watching, but out of 180, 110 are those who follow the hobby of rock climbing also. So from that 180 we have to just remove that 110. What is left is 70, which is nothing but number of students who follow the hobby of only sky watching.